I mean, the biggest of shout-outs from all people, Taylor Swift.
And it's so funny because, you know, when we didn't know she was going to win the award or anything, so we got up there, you know, did the whole thing. She came up and she's like, okay, what's going on?
Right.
I was like, I have no idea, but if you want to just keep talking about us and you're not even thinking about your award, go right ahead.
I know.
We're here.
Lance recently told us, he was like, she sent the Swifties onto our fans and created this massive
It was weird.
tsunami.
I had no idea the fandom would go this nuts. I blame Taylor Swift. I think she sicked the Swifties on us, and I think the Swifties and the NSYNCers just kind of created this tsunami.
It was weird.
Tsunami.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But how exciting is it for you to see your fans be just as excited as they were 20 some odd years ago?
Well, that's the thing. It's really exciting and really weird. It's almost like if we passed and came back to life.
Yeah.
It really is because, again, obviously everybody has their own lives. We have our own things. Everybody's doing their own stuff.
Right.
So, you know, when we get back together to do something like that, it's just really, it's amazing. It's fun. It's not, for me, I don't think it felt like a lot of pressure this time.
Yeah.
Usually around, it's like,
I wonder why that
too
sounds like. Why does it feel like that? Not a lot of pressure.
because we don't have to deal with, I'm not worried about being at number one. Not worried about, for some reason in my mind as I've gotten older, I'm obviously, for me, I know what's important in my life. My kids are more important than that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, is it fun to have a great hit song on the radio? Oh, of course it is. And being a great song that it is. That's the beauty part about it. I mean, listening to it the first time, I'm like, you know what, it's a great song. It's going to be fun. Didn't know the magnitude, honestly, that was going to happen to that. Because it's interesting, like you said, because all the Swifties now, a lot of those fans are now going down a rabbit hole to listen or see what we were about and what we did.
Those Swifties now know who Travis Kelce is, and they also know who NSYNC
Correct.
is, right? And I gotta say, y'all recently went back to the studio. Of course, now we've got Better Place, which has put us all in a better place. What was it like getting back into the studio with the guys?
Just like riding the bike. When you're getting back to work, no, seriously.
Really?
It's just like when you get back to your colleagues, when you're seeing people that you know, your cameramen, interview everybody, hey, how's everybody going? All right, cool. You shoot the crap for a second, and you go to work. Same thing. Same exact thing.
Now, Lance also told us he was spilling a lot of tea to us. So
Lance loves to spill out everything. Thanks, Lance, because then I don't have to say much.
I'll get the follow-ups from you.
I'll tell you, I got you.
Okay, so he was telling us Justin was just weeping McWeeperton in the studio.
Who needed the most tissues?
Tissues? Actually, Justin.
Really?
Yes, he was very emotional because, you know, he put this together and, you know, it means a lot to him.
How emotional were you, though, Joey?
I wasn't. If you see, actually, there's a video, the clip that we were in the studio and all that stuff. If you listen and watch the whole video at the very tail end, when Justin's like, yo, I love you guys, blah, blah. I hugged him. I was like, yeah, man, I love you too, but I really got to pee.
I love you guys. That is epic, man. I gotta go pee, but I love you.
I think, you know what, again, as you get older in life, you start to realize in certain things of what's important or what you may miss or feelings that you've had before that you may never have again until later on in life. You may feel this to go, you know, whatever it may be, the excitement, the joy. I don't know exactly what it is specific, but I think that's what he felt like in the studio. I think all of us felt like this is the right time to do it. We've been asked or told, and all of us have in some way, shape, or form like, hey, let's get together.
Yeah.
And it just didn't feel like the right time. And I think with this, it felt like the right time. And again, after that, who knows? You know, it was one of those things of like, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it interesting as we grow older, perspective, we gain it. We gain that wisdom, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Exactly.
Did you think the day would ever come? Yeah, people were trying to put this together and that and say this behind
You know
the
what?
scenes.
You can say I think or I should or I have or I could have, would have, should have. Again, this is the time that it came out the way it did. I don't think it ever would have came out the way it did, the way it legitimately did right now as far as the song is concerned.
Right.
Just because, again, SAG strike, everything else has been going on. We're not able to do much. So musically, we could put the song out and that's it and go, yay.
Well, okay, so you put
You
the
know
song
what I
out,
mean?
you can go yay, and all of us have been going woo.
Exactly, it's
so
crazy.
The world wants more music. They want a full-fledged tour.
Good luck,
So-
everybody.
No, Joey Fatone, I know you still got those moves, man. You
Sometimes the knee gets a little caught up.
Put
every
a
now.
brace
That's all
on
right.
it.
People always ask. I'll say never as far as us getting back together, as far as the tour is concerned. This is the first. Hear me out.
Joey,
hear me out.
I'm
Hear me
not
out.
good- no,
This
no.
is the first step, people. So we don't know what's going to happen after. Let us. It's almost like taking out on a date. I took you out on a date. We're going to hang out a little. We don't know if we're going to actually go out for the next date or just get married and kick it. We don't know yet.
Ooh, I feel like y'all had a date after the song was released and you saw the anticipation.
No, honestly, again, for me, very humbling, very interesting. When people say about how emotional I got, I didn't get emotional actually recording the song. I didn't get emotional. And no, I'm not saying in a sense. What I got emotional about, which is really cool, is I'm flipping through on my phone and I see young kids doing TikTok dances to I Want You Back, tearing up my heart. All that kind of stuff. That's cool. That's weird. Because it's a whole nother generation that didn't know anything about us, and now they went down this rabbit hole and they're like, oh my gosh, this would be a great TikTok dance. And now everybody's doing all this stuff. So That's where, for me, that got emotional. Because that's a weird thing.
Did it get emotional when your girls gave you, like, are they fanning out
No,
over
they
pop?
think Daddy is a dork. Daddy is, oh, of course.
Even after your epic moment at the VMAs with Taylor Swift.
My daughters, they're my kids. They know exactly. They've met celebrities. They're just like everybody else. So when they see stuff like that, they're like, oh, that's cool. I think my older one said, listen, if I hear that song one more freaking time, like my feed is blowing up, which usually I see one or two things about you, Dad.
Yeah.
It's like it's going every 5 seconds. He goes, I need to get away from my phone.
It's bananas.
And I said, too bad, so sad. Daddy loves you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, guys. I mean, this just got me thinking, you know, you guys released your last new music early, like what, 2001?
Yeah.
The band went on an indefinite hiatus, like 2007-ish. I mean, did you think that you would be on a hiatus for that long a period of time?
No, again, it's just a matter of what will dictate and what feels right. It really does, because again, everybody has their own thing. So for me, it's like back in the day when we started, obviously separate, I was doing Broadway, I was doing other stuff.
You pivoted.
That I wanted to, yeah. I mean, it was great because it opened up a door for me to do whatever I kind of wanted.
Yeah.
But again, when you're coming back to do something like this, now you're like, okay, you're kind of fresh out of it now. You haven't been ready, so it's like, all right, let's go.
He's warming up those moves for tour,
Hey,
y'all. I'm
we'll
just
see.
saying.
Everybody keeps saying.
We need the album. We need
Good
the
luck,
tour.
everybody.
We need on the album a little collaboration with T Swift.
Hey, there's a record company that
Give
you
me-
got to call.
well,
There's a
somebody
couple
got a
people you got to
phone.
call. You got to call Sony.
Let me play some
Right,
phone
Sony
calls.
RCA. Call them and say, hey, we want a tour. We want an album. We want all this stuff. Because the 5 of us can't really do much. We can just say yes. We can try to. But trust me,
The power
People
of the
will-
people is a beautiful thing.
that's why
because
I'm talking about.
you know what? Fans were petitioning for the boy bands to get together.
Were they really?
To do the Super Bowl halftime
Oh, I know.
performance.
Somebody threw that out there, but Usher's doing it, which is great. That's not wrong with that.
What did you think of the idea of like all the boy bands reuniting and
Again,
getting together?
it's a great idea.
Oh, Joey,
Coulda,
you're
woulda, shoulda.
killing me. You're killing me.
Coulda, woulda,
Smooth.
shoulda. But it's coulda, woulda, shoulda.
I know. Well, we're not.
It's all right. NFL didn't want to do it. They got Usher. Congratulations.
There's always next year. What do you make of
next
Usher?
year?
What can we expect? What do you
Oh,
think?
he's awesome, though. He's great. I haven't seen a show yet in Vegas, but I want to see a show in Vegas. I heard it's amazing.
Right.
Heard it's really a lot of fun. Hopefully, Usher, bro, bring other people in. It's always fun to do that. If it's just you, if it's the Usher show, still cool. But when you mingle people together at a Super Bowl halftime show, that's where it makes it fun.
For sure.
That's where it's fun. Because think about it. 2 teams playing together.
Yeah.
Why would you want a halftime show with just one celebrity?
I
Bring it
know.
all.
So, what is this hell of a good time going on around here?
Well, we're having a hell of a good time. Basically, we're going to be tailgating out here at this lovely bar that we have out here. Basically, I've actually worked with Heluva Good now since I think the 4th or 5th year I've been working with them. So people are always like, why all of a sudden now? It's like, no, I've been working with them every year, pretty much, yeah.
So, what is it about the brand that keeps you coming back for more?
They don't take themselves too serious, just like me. I mean, come on, we got like, you can grab a hell of a dip from the grab.
Oh my God.
From the claw, yeah.
It's even a game.
Yeah, it's
Oh
even
my
a game. We got a bunch of other stuff over there. There's a bunch of like where you can mix the different Heluva Good like actually food, because there's a jalapeno, cheddar, but also you can do like the onion dip. Trust me, I'm a freak with this stuff. I really am. And every year I've been doing stuff with them, and they called me up and they're like, hey, we're gonna do this whole thing in Hoboken. I'm like, of course, why not? I'm down.
That's so good.